Hi gang. So in this video, I'm doing something quite exciting. I'm doing collaboration with Mattie from Rainbow of Makeup. That's her YouTube channel. And she also has an Instagram channel, Rainbow of Makeup 01. So please check that out. I will leave those links down in the description box for you. So Mattie's style is very much intense, very graphic, very sharp lines, a lot of cut creases, and a lot of matte eyeshadow looks. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that I do like color, but I don't really do a lot of cut creases. I usually try to diffuse my look so that it's a bit softer around the edges. I prefer having shimmers in my eyeshadow looks. So that's where we differ. And yeah, so another thing I wanted to mention, one thing that really does make a difference is the facial structure. And with people that like to do cut creases, I think their bone structure, they seem to have higher nose bridges like that. And that creates a more deep set eye and deep set appearance. Whereas my eye sockets, they're there, but you know, they're not as apparent as, let's say, if I had it something like this. Do you see what I mean? So with cut creases, it's a little bit easier to find the shape. And also with East Asian eyes, I think typically our eyes are more, how you say, slanted upwards. And I think that also does play into, you know, how you would structure an eyeshadow look and the spacing and everything that's required. So I tried to do something along the lines of the picture that Mattie sent me, because the idea is that we pick out a couple of pictures that kind of represent our aesthetic. And so I sent her one and she sent me one. When I tried to recreate the look at first, I was having a lot of problems trying to figure out where I should cut the crease, like how far up I should take the above shades, because it was a rainbow on top and a rainbow on the bottom as well. So yeah, I played around with the placement, and I think I've gotten something that's a little bit more flattering for my eye shape and my features. But yeah, you'll have to tell me how I do. The first time I did it, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. I think it just, the placement, the proportions just looked really odd on my eye. I'm going to zoom you in right now so that you can have a closer look at my eye. My lens, my camera lens, is currently being repaired, either repaired or looked at, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to be able to go in as close as my previous videos where I could really get really close up, but hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. So first of all, I am going to prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion Original. This is a lot more sheer, and I know that when it comes to these really graphic looks, people tend to want a very opaque base. Yeah, but when I try to experiment with some of the more opaque bases, I found it more difficult to work with, and I'm not familiar with the art of the cut crease. I'm going to make it as easy on myself as I possibly can. So I've got a whole bunch of brushes here, and I've got my color switch, which is very, very handy for when I want to switch colors, especially for this rainbow look. So I'm going to start with the purple shade first. And this is from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, volume 2, kind of purples and oranges and reds. All right, so again, I'm stamping out where I think I want it to go. And then I'm going to take a pink shade that's right next to it. And I'm going to put up on the screen what look I'm trying to recreate. So in my earlier attempts, I also did try bringing the color up to the eyebrow, but I don't know. It just looked weird. So I don't know how else to describe it. This is from the BH Cosmetics Bubble Gum palette. This blue right here, very, very much in line with that blue. The purple I have right here is not as blue leaning as the one in the picture, I think, but it will have to do. Okay. And the next shade I'm going to go in with is a green shade. For that, I'm going to take the Melt Radioactive, this shade right here, Xenon. So playing around with this look, I've used this Melt palette as well as my, what is this, Viseart Editorial Brights as well. So there we go. I think that works. I think I want to go in more with this green. This one is a little deeper. This is from the Viseart Editorial Brights. There we go. Yeah, I think I like that fade better. I think I'm gonna have to use a Q-tip and get rid of some of that shade. So I know people like to go directly in with a opaque base for the cut crease, and I tried that and it was very smudgy. Like I got all the colored eyeshadow into the base itself and there was a lot of bleeding and it didn't look good. So I'm gonna clean it up first, and hopefully when I do cut the crease, it will be a cleaner experience. I'm gonna go in with the orange shade first. I'm gonna try to space it somewhere here because I know there's a red that goes out here as well. I'm going to go in with the yellow that's right beside it called Neon. Switch to a more precise brush. Okay, lastly I'm gonna put use a red shade. And to finesse it a little bit more, I'm going in with a really precise lining brush and just go along that line. I will adjust the shape of the angle later on, so maybe like this. I think I'm gonna try to make it as parallel to this line as I possibly can so that it looks more symmetrical. It just looks more even, so trying to go match this angle like this. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do the bottom lash line now. I'm gonna clean that up just a little bit. Another thing about my eye shape is that winged eyeliner is a little bit tricky because when I open my eyes, and if I do like a regular, just like a triangle wing like that without doing the step, I'm going to get a wonky looking eye. So okay, gang, so this is the finished look. I'm really not used to seeing myself like this. I still am a bit taken aback when I see how colorful I am. With the rest of the face makeup, I tried to keep it as natural as possible. I went for kind of some light bronzer, some very natural blush tones, and for the lips, a little bit of gloss mixed in with some cream highlight from House of Glamdolls. This is definitely my favorite. Yeah, I also tried to keep the look a little bit more dewy looking with a little bit of cream shimmer highlighter down the bridge of the nose, on the cheekbones. But I think I did capture all the elements that was in the picture that Mattie sent to me. That picture is from Stevie Cakes, so check out her Instagram handle if you want to see more looks like that from her. And trust me, I practiced. I didn't do this wasn't the first time I did it. I practiced on my eye a few times before I found the right shape for me. I think it's important if you have differently shaped eyes to consider that. Thank you so much, Mattie, for giving me this inspiration. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I'm not entirely sure if I will do looks like this again. It's really not my style, but I can appreciate the artistry and the time and effort that goes into such a look. This took me much longer than I would have with my usual method of application. Personally, I think I would be a bit apprehensive about going out with such a vibrant, intense eyeshadow look. As it is, my eyeshadow looks are quite colorful, at least in the place that I'm living in. And yeah, some people give me curious glances when they see me on the street. Some people compliment my eyeshadow, which is always very nice to hear. I think if I went out with this, I would also get a lot of compliments just because it's so colorful and so different. I am so excited to see what Mattie comes up with. I gave her an Instagram picture from Tatiana Rose Art, who is one of my favorite Instagrammers on the platform. Honestly, I love everything that Tatiana does. I love her aesthetic. I love the this kind of retro glam vibe to her, and I try very hard to imbue some of that grace and elegance into my pictures and my eyeshadow looks. I hope to someday have that level of artistry. Obviously, I can't be Tatiana Rose Art. Oh, if I could be. That eyeshadow look does have some color to it, but it's a lot softer, and it doesn't have a cut crease like this. It's a bit mysterious, it's a bit glamorous, so please check out Mattie's video. I will link it down below as soon as I get that information from her. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun trying to recreate this. My eyes were getting a bit raw from drawing and redrawing and drawing and redrawing. So that's it for me. Check out my Instagram channel as well as Mattie's channel if you are interested to see more from us. Ciao for now.